You ever see Finding Nemo, the character Dory? Like every hour or so, she can retain a memory, and then she forgets everything and starts all over. If we go out where we are today, it will be the 8th day over the last 44 days since the S&P 500 topped on September 21st, where we've had a 1% or greater move on the day. And if every time that happened, you got excited, well, here's what you have to show for that excitement. We're still down in a 9% drawdown from that high. So we've had plus 500-point days in the Dow, plus 3% days in the NASDAQ, another. If you were buying on those days thinking, oh, big rally, that's it, then you really don't know how markets work, and specifically how corrections and bear markets work. The best single-day performances, Brian, are always in the midst of downtrends, corrections, and bear markets. Always. They cluster around the worst days. And so I definitely don't think we want to look at the Dow up 100, 200, 300 points and say, oh, the coast is clear, happy Thanksgiving. It doesn't work that way.
Is anybody saying that? Joe Terranova, I have not heard you say that.
You said we'll take it.
Well, no, he said we'll take it.
I'll take it.
He muttered it. I just said it in the clear way that I do.
So for John, I get that. Like, John's time frame is shorter. So yeah, today is if you were buying yesterday into the lows, into the despair, today you can ring the register. If that's how you're trading, this is great.
But you know what didn't work so far, Josh? Apple. Apple hit 178
Lots of tech stocks.
Yesterday.
Netflix not bouncing.
Nvidia, though. I bought Nvidia.
Rolling again.
Well, but I mean, it's not 133. Yesterday on the lows, Brian, it was 133. Popped up to 154 or so. Nvidia, we're talking.
I know. Before we go to Joe, though, I'll ask you this. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being all important, I know some people say that those stocks, the FANGs, are all important. Some say they're just stocks. How much do they matter to a market that, if it tries to recover, do we need to have Nvidia, Apple, and those recover?
I give them more import than that they're just stocks. I know Joe says it's everything, and I'm not disagreeing with him, but I'm saying they're not just stocks. These are important. However, I thought that move out of Amazon yesterday from 1,400 to 1,520, now today it's 1,540, 1,550, something like that. That's a big move, and it held almost all of it yesterday. So that move, as well as Nvidia that Josh and I were just talking about, those are two that I noted, Brian, that I thought they were important.
So it's easy to trade in the market when you have momentum on your side. You have a well-defined trend, whether it's up or whether it's down. And momentum is a strategy clearly in the last 6 weeks. That strategy is no longer working. And if you're in an environment where the momentum strategy is no longer working, then it's going to be difficult to define a trend. And I think a lot of what we're seeing going on in the markets right now, I've said this before, I fully believe it to be true, is we're going to a lot of different places, to Josh's point, in the market, and ultimately we're going to end up nowhere. So, okay, October 29th, you have a 2603 S&P low. You potentially could target that low once again. But I think right now, you're basically going to be trading in somewhat of a range. Where's the bottom? Doesn't matter where the bottom is.
Well, it matters to somebody.
No, it doesn't, because it doesn't matter where the bottom is if you're ultimately not going to reestablish price above the previous high. And what I'm describing for you is an environment where I'm not necessarily sure that you're going to be doing that. I think it's a trendless environment. It's going to be very volatile. It's going to be difficult. And if you're a trader, okay, it's a good environment because you could trade against the ranges. But from an investment standpoint, again, I don't know necessarily if this is the optimal environment for you.
So I'm not sure it's a trendless environment. And if we look at this quarter to date, it's kind of interesting because you have the information technology sector down 15%, communication services down 15%, discretionary down 15%. But you know what you've got? You've got utilities up 4%, you've got real estate up 1.5%, and you've got consumer staples up 1.5% also. So to me, that says there is actually a trend. And I think the trend that I'm thinking about is a change in leadership. So we have a change in leadership from the big FANG stocks, which I think are important. And I think the reason they're important is because we have the S&P as a market cap weighted index. So they're important because they carry a disproportionate amount of weight in that. And I think you're seeing those guys pull back. I think you're seeing a trend in towards value, maybe away from the growth momentum. You know, maybe momentum takes a different angle. But I don't think it's trendless. And
is value as a strategy up on the year or down? I think it's still down.
It's still down, but there's been a dramatic shift in the last 6 weeks.